It's never occurred to you the Iraq War was a mistake? Really? On what basis was it a success? So if that's really your view, maybe we shouldn't trust you when you tell us that we have a moral obligation to attack Iran. Just throwing that out there. But let's be honest, it's not really the print media who are driving this, because this is a Republican administration, and as everyone knows, Republicans have one main news source, and that's Fox News.
Tucker Carlson sounded a lot more like Cenk Uygur on the latest episode of his podcast because he went after cable news. In fact, he went after his former employer, Fox News, specifically for beating the war drums and convincing Americans that maybe it's a good idea to go to war with Iran on behalf of a foreign country, Israel. Cenk, how much do you love this?
Look, guys, the fact that a significant portion of the right and independents and libertarians have come to our position, but again, to be fair to the libertarians, they were always there, and the right wing in this election cycle at least said that they were anti-war. We've been anti-war the entire time, right? And we've been against Fox News the entire time. We've been warning you about Israel's influence in this country the entire time. As I see other parts of the political spectrum coming to that same conclusion, it's amazing. It's a unity I've never seen before. I love it. Watch what Tucker says, not just about war in Israel, but about Fox News and how they spread a poison in this country to make sure that you all serve a different country.
So basically, he talks about how there's consent manufactured over at Fox News for wars that we shouldn't be involved in. So here's Tucker's general criticism of Fox News and the power the cable news channel has over the Republican Party in particular.
I have some familiarity with the product, and I can say that even as Fox News's reach and power and influence have diminished greatly, mostly due to technological changes. People go on the internet, they don't pay for cable. But as it has diminished, it has not broken the stranglehold that Fox has over Republicans in Washington. They watch Fox, they want to go on Fox. And so Fox has really driven this war, and if it occurs, you can thank Fox, more than any other media organization, more than any other lobbyist, more honestly than any government, more than the government of Israel. Fox News has pushed for this war. Its owners personally have pushed for it, personally. And of course, its employees on the channel have pushed for it with such aggression and unanimity that as of tonight, there is not a single on-air Fox personality who is going to question going to war with Iran.
I mean, he's right. And honestly, if you rewind and you look back at the type of coverage Fox News was doing in the lead up to the preemptive war in Iraq, same thing. The same types of arguments being made. The same, fear mongering about how there are weapons of mass destruction, how we need to be terrified, how people were misled into thinking Iraq had anything to do with 9/11, which it didn't, obviously.
So he's absolutely right, and it's empirical, and you could watch it, and it's documented, right? But before we get too comfortable with ourselves, especially if we're on the left, right, as I am, has there been a rage from the MS Now anchors on cable news about this war? Because maybe I missed it, but did Rachel Maddow go on this screed against this war? We can't have this war. I mean, that's a layup for MSNBC, right? I mean, Trump's in charge. Don't they hate everything about Trump? But yet, this is the one story where they can't find their rage. And CNN, is there a single CNN anchor that has warned that this might not be a good idea? Isn't it weird that Fox and MS Now and CNN, that are all supposed to disagree, when it comes to the issue of Israel and starting wars for them, all of a sudden they can't find a way to disagree?
So there's one person who Tucker Carlson focuses on as even more nefarious than the rest over at cable news, and he's about to address who that person is next.
This is Mark Levin telling his listeners, such as they are, that Iran has nuclear-tipped ICBMs aimed at the United States. Watch this.
They'd slaughter 1 million of their own people if it meant retaining power. That's not a government of a country. Those are terrorists that control a country. It is a police state that's slaughtering its own people to stay in power so it can slaughter us. It believes, as the 7th century primitive barbarians believed, that they must destroy civilization. They believe today that they must destroy the West. Most prominently, the United States of America. Those nuclear ICBMs aren't aimed for Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. They're aimed for New York and Los Angeles and Chicago and everywhere in between and around the United States of America.
The enemies of civilization. If you wake up in a world where Mark Levin is publicly identified with, quote, civilization, you are an upside-down world.
He is lying to people on purpose to scare them into supporting a war that is going to get innocent people and our soldiers killed. I just don't understand how people are supporting this. So, no, okay, Iran at the moment does not have any capability of striking the United States. Their ballistic missiles cannot reach the United States. They do not have nuclear-tipped missiles pointed at Los Angeles. Okay? But he's going to lie, and is there going to be any type of reprimand, any talking to, any firing of Mark Levin for lying to the American people, scaring them about Iran's non-existent military and weapons capabilities?
And that's why he said it, Anna, because that's such a brazen lie, right? That's not even close. And it's like a North Korean lie, right? That the leader has no sphincter. It was literally a lie they made up. And Mark Levin is going to say that soon about Netanyahu. So why does he get to say a brazen lie like that? Because he knows there is no accountability. There's no chance he'll be fired because he's for war and he's for Israel. So he has perfect job security. But if you said something that was true about Israel but that was slightly critical, they would all call for you to get fired. In fact, they do that all the time. In fact, they did that today, right? So he knows, I could lie all day long on Fox News. In fact, the whole point of Fox News is to lie to you. But guys, what's spectacular and fascinating about this story is that Tucker Carlson was the #1 anchor on Fox News. He has now turned around and said, yes, they're lying to you. And they're purposely driving you into war. I was there, I know, he says. By the way, I was an anchor on MSNBC, and I could tell you, they're lying to you. So everyone who leaves, he interviewed Clayton Morris, who was also on Fox News, also says the same thing. I run into former MSNBC hosts all the time, and I swear to God, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but you would be shocked at who it is, saying, you were right, Cenk, about MSNBC, okay? So here we are. So now we know our media is totally working for someone else and not for us. Our government is working for someone else and not us. Head-on collision. Those idiots think that, we'll just subjugate the American people again and we'll do propaganda like we always have. And they'll never find out. There's a thing called the internet. We already know, you schmucks. Everyone under 55 already knows. There's some boomers online that are still watching MS Now and Fox, right? But other than them, which is a small group now, the rest of us, by the way, I'll tell you something you could definitely do. Vote out all the incumbents. Okay, vote them all out, unless it's their name Ro Khanna or Tom Massey, or you know with absolute certainty they're not taking AIPAC money and they're working for you. Unless you know that, just blind vote them out. Vote them out, vote them out. Get me a rando off the street will be 1,000 times better than a guy that I know is already corrupt. Both Democrats and Republicans, do it in your own primaries. You don't have to cross parties. Vote all the bums out. We'll put a link in the description box.
But also, I mean, look, if you have the ability to vote for a congressional race, you happen to be a Democrat or you happen to be a Republican, but you have an opportunity to vote in an election where you get to choose between a pro-Zionist or anti-Zionist, I would vote in that election for the anti-Zionist.
Of course. I mean,
where's the question?
Why would I vote for someone who raised their hand and says, I will loyally serve another country?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, Zionism is nationalism for Israel. If someone said, I am a Turkish nationalist, that's why you should vote for me, people would be like, well, I don't know, why don't you go back to Turkey and be a nationalist over there? That would be super weird, right? But all of our politicians say it proudly. I am a nationalist for Israel, not for America. All right, great. Thanks for letting me know. I'll never vote for you again. Never. Okay? Guys, I'm now slightly weirdly hopeful. And Anna, don't get
No, I'm not hopeful at all.
No, hold
I'm
on.
done.
No, let me
There is no
explain.
hope.
Let me explain.
Like, what are we hopeful about?
No, let me explain.
Okay, go ahead.
First, there will be great darkness, right? Don't get me wrong. The reason I'm ironically, and the emphasis on ironic, hopeful, is because now, before I wasn't 100% sure that we were going to go to war with Iran. I thought Trump's a wild card. There's like 10% chance that he might pull out at the last second. But I kind of know for a fact now that we're going to go to war, right? There was one last-ditch effort to try to get Trump not to go to war. It failed. And so now that we're going to war, I guarantee you failure is baked in, and I also guarantee you that there will be a rage in America. So before, wiping out 20% of Congress was impossible, right? Now all of a sudden it's possible. Guys, you wipe out 20% of Congress, you get your government back, because they'll all start pooping in their depends, okay? And they'll be like, oh my God, people are woken, oh no, where's the donor money? As long as the donor money is in charge, we're all screwed. But you vote out 20% of these bums, they're gonna crap themselves, okay? And then you have a shot at getting control back from them, because they're all actors, they're all phonies, right? But they'll pretend to be on your side. And so we got to get our government back. That's really the only way to do it. If you try to do it in some silly partisan way, like, oh my God, everybody vote this way or that way, and that party will win, what difference does it make? Biden was in charge, and he said, he would say nonstop, I'm a Zionist! Oh, hey, look at that. He got $11 million from the Israeli lobby. Top donor throughout his career. Trump's top donor throughout his career, Israel. Stop vote, like, it's nonsense. Go in the primaries, vote in average Americans, vote in anybody but these corrupt incumbents. Mainstream media tells you that their incumbents have experience that's so valuable because they know the incumbents are corrupt. Incumbents are the worst people in America. Vote all the bums out.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.